Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Screamin'. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Lightfall Season of the Wish Guardian Games intel. And today, once again, is Friday, so we have our Friday weekly update. XUR has returned, as well as Trials of Osiris. So I'm going to give you a rundown on those two things, as well as all the other great Destiny 2 content that you can do heading into the weekend. And there is some amazing stuff currently, as well as some really interesting news that we're going to also cover towards the end of the video. But to start us off, XUR today can be found in the EDZ over in the Winding Cove. If you don't know exactly where, I'll just show you real quick. Right over here, remember up on the cliff, there is a tunnel. You don't have to climb the cliff. And today, XUR is selling for exotic loot. We have the Vigilance Wing. This weapon actually got a huge buff, I believe, and is amazing in PvP now. I used to love the Vigilance Wing way back in like vanilla Destiny 2. It was actually my go-to exotic. I think it was maybe the first exotic that I got, if I'm remembering correctly. But in any case, pulse rifles are great. 5-round burst, can't go wrong. Definitely pick it up if you don't have it. We have a Graviton forfeit for the Hunters. With a 65 roll isn't bad, high mobility and high strength. I would pick this up if you don't have one. Maybe not the best as far as the meta for PvP or PvE at the moment. I'm not really sure. I don't play Hunters often enough to use this particular exotic, but let me know in the comments section down below if you use the Graviton forfeit. Still a great roll on it regardless. We have the Ursa Furiosa, very unique exotic and is super meta in PvE for specific strikes, and it has been at specific times more so than lately, I think. But block damage with Sentinel Shield for more super energy. This can, though it's a little bit of a unique, maybe slightly more niche exotic, can be very handy in the right activity. So 65 roll, fairly even across the board. The mobility is sort of wasted, but maybe not a bad pickup if you don't have them. And then we have the Karenstein armlets. These are a go-to exotic for me for a lot of different builds, especially Void I like to use them with, but always great to just have for rebuffing your health and endgame activities. Can also play really well with solar builds at the moment. But 66 roll on it is reasonably high, certainly reasonably high enough to want to buy one, especially with this stat distribution, which is 16 resilience, 17 recovery, and 23 discipline. The 3 perks that I like the most. Those are the stats that I'm always trying to have as close to 100 as possible on any character. But if you don't know, of course, melee kills restore your health for a short period. So can really do well, I think, with solar builds, but I always like to use them with Void build sort of for that double devour heal perk. But in any case, that's going to be it for the exotic loot today. Let me know which ones you pick up, if any, in the comments section down below. For legendary weapons, we have the Janin 7 rifle with adaptive frame, Zen Moment, and Outlaw. We have the Peace of Mind deep sight activation weapon here with auto-loading holster, Vorpal weapon, and land tank. Not a bad roll on this. Some people might say auto-loading holster really isn't needed, but Vorpal weapon is great, and, you know, deep sight activation weapon. I always like the Peace of Mind. Pulse rifles seem to be fairly good at the moment, at least in a reasonable good place for PvE because they are in the Champions meta, but also for PvP. We have spare rations. 140 round per minute hand cannons. I'm not totally sure exactly where they're lying at the moment. I find that I'm not really using them. I'm either using the 180s or the 120s. But moving target and kinetic tremors, as well as disaster plan on this. Kinetic tremors is going to be really good for PvE and game meta, especially right now with hand cannons. So pick up this. I haven't seen one with kinetic tremors, I don't think. I don't even know if Banshee 44 has sold one with kinetic tremors. Maybe in past seasons he did. And I'm just forgetting it. But pick this up. Let me know if you've seen this for sale anywhere, either from XUR or Banshee 44 previous to this. in the comments section down below. We're also going to cover Banshee 44's loot towards the end of the video because he has some really good stuff. It's only available for the next about 7 hours at the time of posting this. We have a 7 Seraph shotgun with auto-loading holster and trench barrel. We have the contingency plan with firmly planted and kill clip. We have a Briganier's memory with thermoplastic grenade, underdog, as well as auto-loading holster. Kind of a trend here. A lot of auto-loading holster weapons. I think that's the third one. And then we have a recurrent impact with subsistence, frenzy, and land tank, another deep sight activation weapon. Not a bad roll on a stasis machine gun. So yeah, how many do we have with auto-loading? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 weapons with auto-loading holster. Interesting. Legendary armor, nothing too stand out, though there are some reasonably high rolls. Everything seems to be dropping in that 64 to 66 range. Let me know in the comments section down below if there was a big standout in any one on any classes. Of course, for the Warlock, we do have a 66 roll, so I'm going to assume that there's at least one 66 roll on either the Hunters or the Titans that is very good. If you wanted to know exactly what this particular armor set, the Braytech Researchers, or the Braytech armor set looks like, not my thing. Over on the exotic weapons page, we have our hawkmoon with textured grip and moving target. Remember to pick up an exotic cipher if you don't have it, and that is going to conclude all the information for XUR today. We're now going to move over to the tower. Check out what Banshee 44 is selling, as well as what the Trials loot is for this week. Remember, we also have Guardian games going on for at least another 2 weeks. I believe Hunters won again this week, so congratulations, Hunters. You won again. Yay. I love Hunters. You guys deserve to win something. Never won one before, and you're certainly making up for it the last 2 weeks. But remember, that's going on. I do have a video if you're looking to get your top 10% score for your new exotic skimmer. That'll be linked in the top right corner or at the end of this video. We also have this week's Nightfall, which is, I believe, the Lake of Shadows. Yes, it is the Lake of Shadows again, which is a great one to farm. Very quick, certainly one of the oldest strikes, and one of the quickest to do. Unfortunately, we do not have the loot that I assumed was going to be this week, which was either the sword or the undercurrent, which was actually what it was supposed to be. Instead, we have the bow, whose name I cannot pronounce. But Lake of Shadows, like I said, if you're looking for a quick way to farm this, I also have another video that I put out on Tuesday. The fastest glitches for solo players as well as groups to make your farm as effortless as possible. Since we're in the tower really quick, and we're closer to Banshee 44, I'm just going to show you what he has. And I said before, this will be going away about 8 hours or 7 hours after the daily reset timer, whatever that is for you. But it's usually when XUR shows up. So when XUR and Trials goes live, this loot has about 7 hours before it needs to go. And we have a Cartesian coordinate with Vorpal, as well as Under Pressure, Accelerated Coil, and Charge Time Masterwork. This is a solid 9 out of 10. The middle perk can be swapped out with maybe a couple other things, but other than that, with the Accelerated Coil, as well as Vorpal Weapon and the Charge Time Masterwork, this thing will do amazing burst damage, especially on bosses. So pick it up if you don't have it. Limited time offer. But check back again. If you don't pick this one up, there might be another one for sale after 8 hours after the daily reset timer. I'm on the East Coast, so that's, with daylight savings time we just had, I believe that's 8 p.m. for me. So you figure out what that is for you. Heading over to Saint 14 now, if I don't get caught on the railing. Last week we actually had an interesting Trials of Osiris. Not only is all the passage changes updated, but we also have, we had interesting, like a double adept loot last week. This week's Trials of Osiris map is the Cauldron. So it might give a few players a bit more of a chance, because you can kind of use the doors to your advantage there. And this week's adept weapon is the Summoner. This is the new adept weapon, or the new version of the Summoner, that I don't believe has been available since long before the most recent update. So in any case, enjoy the Summoner Adept this week. Hopefully everybody can get their hands on it. It's much easier to get Adept loot now. It's not the same as going to the tower, of course, but still, Adept loot nonetheless. Also, with some more just daily update information, I probably should have covered this when I was in the EDZ, but today's Legendary Lost Sector is the Skydock 4. Very good one to farm. It's awarding exotic chest armor, so if you're looking for Falcons, if you're on a hunter, now's the day to go and farm it out. Or, if you're looking to save up exotic Ingrams, now's the day to go farm those out. Just make sure that your full inventory of Ingrams on your person is, full, so they get sent to your postmaster instead. And this week's featured raid was the Garden of Salvation, if you're looking for divinity. We also had the In the Deep mission, if you're looking to AFK farm XP. There was actually a big announcement yesterday in the TWAB that all the Prophecy Dungeon weapons, the new Prophecy Dungeon engine weapons, will be retroactively made enhanced. So once the next, I think it's Into Light expansion or DLC drops, I believe it's April 9th, all of those weapons will retroactively become enhanced. So you'll be able to get the enhanced perks. So even if you're farming them now, you'll be able to have them enhanced later. So Prophecy Dungeon is the go-to farm at the moment. We had the Operation Seraph Shield for the exotic mission this week. And the featured dungeon was the Spire of the Watcher. You can get, remember, adept loot from the Spire of the Watcher, or Artifice armor, excuse me. But you can also now get Artifice armor from playing competitive. So I've actually been playing a lot more competitive. Lately, I think competitive is actually a really good playlist now. You just have to get to gold, I believe, and you can start earning Artifice armor. So as well as Trials of Osiris, with its updates to the passages, I think PvP in general is in a much better place as far as the rewards you're getting. And that is going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Really helps out the channel. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. Remember, any of those things also enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel. We do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. And when we reach 100,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away an Xbox Series X or a video card of equivalent value. If you've watched till this point in the video, you could have left a comment of any of the things that I talked about earlier in this video, or you can leave a hashtag XUR, or hashtag Season of the Wish, or a hashtag Into Light, or hashtag Final Shape, or hashtag Trials of Osiris in the comments section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. And once more, I'm Wilhelm Scream. Hopefully everybody has a great weekend. And of course, we will see you next time.